All right, on this problem, what we're going to do is we're going to look at what's called a slope field, and basically a slope field is best summed up by this: remembering that any differential equation is the equation to find the slope at a point of the original function. Then we can use that equation to create several small linear approximations that resemble the many different functions that are in a family of solutions. So construct a slope field for the differential equation dy dx cosine x. What that means is we want to come through and find the slope that leads to cosine. Where did we start? We started at sine. Okay, and if we have y equals sine x, and we take the derivative of that, we get to cosine x. So what a slope field does is it looks at all these little points all the way across the x-axis, and it creates this infinite number of little tiny linear approximations. So here's a linear one, here's one, here's one, here's one, here's one. And they follow, can't see that guy in there, he's in there somewhere. They end up following the equation for the sine curve. And it's an approximation. It's little bitty linear strips of line. And they go together to create this field. And you can look at slope fields and determine what the function that you're looking at is. And so what I did was I graphed with the Inspire, and I will have a separate video on graphing because it's a little bit different. But I graphed on the Inspire the slope field for the cosine of x. And remember, if you integrate cosine x dx, you end up with sine x plus c. And so our slope field, all these little linear lines, should look like the sine curve, should resemble the sine curve. And if you don't even have to cross your eyes too much, but you can kind of see a sine curve in here that you could trace out fairly accurately by following all the little slopes. Okay, and that's how it works. Now, if you're using an TI-83 or TI-84, there's a fairly somewhat complicated program that you will need to plug into your calculator, and you can search that out on the internet and do it. But there's a fairly complicated program that you'll want to use to help you with these slope fields. But gosh, it's a really nice program to have. So if you're in my neck of the woods, I've got a copy of it. And if you're not in my neck of the woods, just Google how to program your calculator on a TI-83 or 84 with a slope field in it. So there you go. That's how you look at a slope field on your calculator and what it means.